Sometime life swerves. You plan the route, you check the map, but out of nowhere, detour. A diagnosis, a heartbreak, a loss, a shift you never saw coming. Welcome to the Unexpected Detour, a podcast where real stories, raw moments, and powerful journeys remind us that beauty can be found in places we've never planned to go. I am your host, Frances Hammond, here to explore the detours that shape us, shift us, and strengthen us. Because even when the road changes, the journey still matters. Subscribe now. Your detour begins here. Hi, it's me, Frances, your host of the Unexpected Detour, where in life we say what? Detours are inevitable. Today, I know I usually bring you another conversation in Life Beyond Cancer series. But on my drive home yesterday, something unexpected happened. My mind drifted back to my childhood. And before I knew it, I found myself smiling as I remembered what it was like growing up as an only child. It's funny how memories work. Sometimes they show up when you least expect them, and they remind you of the parts of your life you haven't thought about in years. People have often asked me what it was like being an only child. I can only answer from my own experience because every family dynamics is different. For me, being an only child taught me how to be alone without being lonely. It taught me how to use my imagination and be creative and have my own fun. It taught me how to entertain myself all the time. I could entertain myself, I would dance, everything. I didn't have to worry about modern technology because there was none. I even had an imaginary friend. How about that? Her name was DeeDee. And I'm still trying to figure out till today, where did that name come from? Because I don't know. I really don't know where the name came from, but it sounded good, you know. But DeeDee served her purpose as a young child. So that was my playmate, DeeDee. Then there were my Barbie dolls. Looking back now, I guess my creative side was already beginning to show itself. I began to make clothes for my Barbie doll. Even though she came with clothes and you can buy the clothes, I would find little pieces of material, cut it up, and make her a dress, sew in by hand, something that people don't do these days, but I did that. I even made her some earrings. I put the beads on the end of a straight pin, poked it in her ears, and she was beautiful. I'm telling you, my Barbie was into the latest fashions with me being her creative director. And then I had an easy bake oven. I loved to bake in that oven. I remember baking little tiny cakes. And I also remember my mother, when she would make cakes, she would give me that cake mix and I would make my little tiny cakes. I would have a tea party with my mom or sometimes even my dolls. Those moments seem so ordinary back then, but today, they are some of the sweetest memories I have. Now, before anyone says, well, you were probably spoiled, let me straighten you out right now. I wasn't. I didn't get everything I wanted. I got what I needed. And there was another rule in my house. My responsibilities came before play. If my chores weren't done, I wasn't going outside. That wasn't punishment. That was simply the way I was raised. One thing I do remember is how often people assume only children are spoiled. That certainly wasn't my experience. What I can tell you is that because I didn't grow up with biological brothers or sisters, I found something else. I found family. Throughout my life, I made friends who eventually became like brothers and sisters to me. We laughed together, cried together, celebrated together, and stood by one another through life's unexpected detours. I've met other only children over the years, and many of them have told me the same thing. Somehow, we create our own siblings. Today, many of those relationships have been more than they mean more than what they did years ago. They may not say share my last name or DNA, but they have shared life with me. I call them my homemade family, or should we say a ready-made family, because they were already grown and ready-made. So, and you know something? As I was thinking about this on my drive home yesterday, I realized that's another unexpected detour in life. Sometimes God doesn't give us the family we imagine. Sometimes He places people in our lives who become family, not because of blood, but because of love, because of loyalty, because they chose to stay. Maybe you've experienced that too. Maybe someone came into your life who wasn't related at all, yet they became one of the most important people in your journey. If that's your story, don't take it for granted. Family isn't always the people we're born to. Sometimes it's the people we're blessed to find along the way. Well, that's all I have to share today. And because I like to talk, I figure no time like the present to tell this story. Thank you for taking a walk with me down memory lane. And don't forget, join me tomorrow. I have a special guest who will be sharing her own unexpected detour. And I think you're really going to enjoy our conversation. Until next time, signing off, Francis, your host of the Unexpected Detour. Take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and I'll see you next time. Moe.